The role models of Nigeria. What is a role model? A role model is someone who influences the characters and values of others. People with prominence often occupy such roles. Therefore, it is imperative in every society that public figures exhibit characteristics of good examples for the younger generation to emulate, which will then be passed on to posterity for the betterment of society at large. The contrast between the current generation and their parents could not be more different in Nigeria. From a conservative, filial piety and community-oriented society to one of a mixture of copied-pasted, Americanized, Western, and every other bit and pieces scraped from somewhere else to shape a tradition that has defaced our origin. This change mainly took place within the last 2 decades only. Who are role models? In more advanced societies, these are simply the people whose lives are worthy of emulation. Their all-round life is always something to use as a yardstick. However, in Nigeria, these supposed role models make scandalous, tainted, and warped lives part of their existence on and off stage. Let us run these 2 individuals through the celebrity pyramid and role model laboratory. Davido and Wizkid. Davido is that fried plantain well plated on the side of that smoky Nigerian jollof rice. However, the taste lacks authenticity. Davido's role model's lab result is conclusively disastrous. The unavailable star is sick. It would seem his unavailable hit song depicted his unavailability to other women given his philandering lifestyle. His harem, of course, Davido's promiscuity, debauchery, and profligacy have planted seed in millions of young people who now want to replicate his lifestyle. A ruined role models whose lifestyle depicts everything our cultures and tradition disapprove of. A little over 2 decades ago, drinking, drug abuse, and smoking were mainly done behind closed doors or out of public visibility. Davido and his generation have brought them to the front door. They have normalized debauchery, copied off the African-American reality in the US, the misunderstanding of the African-American identity into a disoriented concoction of copied-pasted Nigerian Gen Z worldview. Ruin or role model? Then there's Wizkid. Some would argue that he's done well for himself. He has a large audience but maintains a low profile. He's either pinging women or in the studio. Wizkid is everything Gen X would say their mothers advised them against. How did things change so quickly within a mere 2 decades? Although the duo are not particularly best friends, their fans display a polarity that sometimes results in verbal wars on social media. The glorification of riches, debauchery, drugs, violence, fast money, and arrogance is at the core of their music. It depicts women as tools for sex, and the women love it, especially Gen Z. Why would they not? This is the role model they grew up with. Their parents sold these role models to them. Children binge on Western programs like it was food for thought. When all you see on your screens growing up are foreign cultures exhibiting nude women as the beauty standard, it is easier to incorporate them into your worldview. Nigeria slowly saw an increase in middle class in the early 2000s. They were poor who learned everything they knew about the world from American and Western propaganda. They wanted to sound, speak, and act like Westerners, as nothing else signified intelligence or riches if not done in the Western style. Parents, as a means of showing off, indoctrinated their children into copied-pasted Western lifestyle, which they did not truly discern. Stereotypes easily stick, they say. Nigerian parents perfectly inducted the stereotypes into the household, thus becoming the reality Gen Zs grew up in. The fusion of Afrobeat reflects this stereotype. Now we have Tiwa Savage and Shay Shay. These two beautiful women have cobwebs at the edges of the walls of their lives. Tiwa Savage is a Nigerian artist. She is known as the queen of Afrobeat and the baddest girl in Africa. She is living out the titles so well. Tiwa and her ex-husband are said to have the messiest divorce story in Nigeria's entertainment industry. The last scandal was the release of a sex tape, which she handled quite well. I must praise her for that. Then, on the other hand, we have Shay Shay. Both women are not particularly young. They're both songwriters and they play their own music. Shay Shay has grown in her career to attain the position of judge on the Nigerian Idol reality TV show in 2021. She is, or should be, a role model, isn't it? Sadly, in 2019, Shay Shay, alongside Victoria Kimani, released the covers of Kiss Daniel's F.K. You know what I mean? F.U. For clarity, this is a line in the song. You know, I am not savage. I pay my bills. Victoria, on her part, accused Tiwa of prostitution. Before this time, they had been going back and forth with a younger male colleague in the industry, especially after Shay collaborated with Wizkid on Crazy. Imagine two grown adult women, role models, dissing themselves through recorded music in an entirely copied-pasted African-American style. What are young people learning from these role models? Rowing models or role models? Nigeria has faced a new era of us not having a system geared towards our reality. If you were to walk in the streets of Nigeria, especially Lagos or Abuja, the two largest cities, you won't even recognize anything Nigerian. All the names are foreign. Nobody wants to sound Nigerian. Nobody wants to bear a Nigerian name. Yes, our role models are not ideally role models. In other developed countries, role models are people who younger people want to copy from, and they tend to portray themselves with decorum. In Nigeria, sounding rude and swearing and throwing curse words tends to be the mainstream. We need to change that in Nigeria if we want to revert to who we are. We are not Americans. We're not African Americans. We're Nigerians. If you like what we do, if you think there was something that we missed, if you think there was something we should have added, or if you have constructive criticism, we'll be happy to engage. Please leave them in the comment section. Also, you can drop us an email at banterpage.com. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Give it a thumb up. And don't forget, when you subscribe, you will be notified when we publish similar video. Thank you for watching.